Our first guests are actually familiar to me. Well, you two are. Do you want to introduce yourselves?
My name's Jenny, and this is my mom, Violet. And we grew up in Naramata together.
And
this is my partner, Lucy.
Forget about me, your fiance.
So soon already?
I know, right?
So the topic today, of course, is growing up gay in a small community. Let's just quickly talk about that for a second, because in elementary school, you weren't out.
I wasn't out. I definitely knew that there was something different. I think it all started when I was watching Saved by the Bell, and I wanted Kelly Kapowski to be my babysitter. So that's how that all started.
Uh-oh. Now I'm trying to have some questions.
So it was a little confusing, but then as I grew up and went on to junior high and stuff, I definitely knew that I was gay. Like I knew.
So when do you think that was exactly that you knew?
Oh God, I knew when I was like 6. Like I knew when I was always, I was always the dad when we played house, or I was Ken when I played Barbies. So I just knew.
Well, what's interesting between us is that in elementary school, my nickname was Lisa the Lesbian.
Yeah, my
remember
gaydar
that?
didn't go off once with you.
Well, third baby, I'm hoping it doesn't
I don't
go
even
off
think I was
anytime.
attracted to you at any point during
That's not, well, you like the lipstick lesbians. And I was definitely not one of those.
No, you were more in like cowboy boots.
Undercut,
and,
yeah. It was,
yeah, we had the same haircut at one point, I think.
we did. So coming out, how did that journey work out for you?
Actually, I have so many coming out stories. I would say that I have 3 significant ones. One was in junior high when I wasn't quite ready to come out yet, and
You were outed?
I was outed. Not fully, because I worked very hard at making myself seem straight after that. So, but then I came out to my mom. And
Tell me about that.
The PG version. I was having a party at my house, and Mom came, and there was a situation where it was very obvious that I was gay. And we sat down. There was a group of about 8 of us that sat down, and
Thanksgiving.
I think it was Thanksgiving, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
And we had a conversation, and people were playing beach volleyball and stuff around us, and the party was still going on, but there was definitely a group of us hanging out, and we don't even remember. We were talking about it on the way here, what I said to her, and she doesn't remember.
Well, I was coming home from Washington State driving, and Jenny had phoned me, and she just came out, and I don't know what she had even said. Like, I don't know if she said I'm gay or I like girls, but it was like, oh yeah. I'm like, well, what's for dinner?
Yeah, it was. She just looked at me and she was like, "This doesn't even surprise me. Like, surprise me with something, because this is nothing compared to half the other stuff you've done." And then she said, "Love is love, and you're healthy and you're happy, and that's all that matters."
How did that make you feel?
Oh gosh, it was at the time, because I'd had a couple to drink. I don't think I cried, but everybody else was crying, and
Yeah, it was no big deal, and it was just like, okay, well, let's eat dinner.
yeah, what's for dinner?
And what was going on in your head? Like, did you know?
No, I didn't until she told me.
There was one point where Mom said, she goes, Jenny, you've been having sleepovers well past when you should have been having sleepovers. So.
Wait a second. What do you mean? There's a rule around that?
It didn't really shock her. Like, we were trying to talk about it on the way here, and it seemed like such an insignificant moment in our relationship. We've had bigger things that we've had to deal with, so that isn't one of them.
And it was her lifestyle choice, and it wasn't for me to say anything, and we had good talks, and
And
was
lucky
not a big deal.
because she.
I was just gonna say, so you did it the right way, and I know that there's so much fear in that coming out, especially to parents. And now, Lucy, you had a very, very different experience. You grew up with a Catholic background, is that right?
Yes.
Do you want to just tell me about your experience?
Well, I was never gay. I had been straight right up until probably 22, 23.
And how old are you now?
31.
Okay.
I went traveling. I'd been with my boyfriend at the time for 6 years. All I'd ever known was guys. I went traveling, and then I met a girl there and suddenly had these feelings that I'd never had before. And I just followed it, and I just went with it. And I waited until about a year into that relationship to come out to my mom. And I came out to her first, and it was probably the most terrifying moment of my life, because I knew that my mom wasn't going to be totally okay with it. I have a gay brother, and then my sister, and then me. So I was the youngest, and I think my parents had like pinned all these hopes and dreams on me, and not that it was gonna like jeopardize anything like that, but just I think my mum always imagined me marrying a rich guy and living next door to them and whatever. And suddenly I came out and I was like, yeah, I'm gay. And my mum just thought it was a phase, told me to just kind of like not tell my dad yet and keep it low key, which I don't know, it upset me at the time because I wanted to be open and I'd gone to her to kind of...
And she wanted to put you back in the
Yeah, I think, and I think she just wanted me to just wait it out, and I was like, I've already waited a year and whatever. Anyway, so I did, and I kind of like left it, and I was traveling and travelled Australia, travelled New Zealand, went back home. I was still with the same girl at the time, and then we broke up, and then I ended up getting with a guy in between, and I was like, oh my God, what's going on? I don't know what do I do? Like, so then I was like, well, it's not necessarily about the gender, it's about the person, and if I'm in love with that person.
Hearts not parts.
Hearts not parts. Yeah, and that was it. And then when Jenny and I met, I just knew. That's when I really, really knew.
That's when you came out to
That's
everybody.
when I really came out to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me so much to come out to my dad. And he was the best out of everyone. He kind
Really?
of like, yeah, and being so far away from home, I had to do everything over FaceTime, and I missed that kind of interaction and being able to just sit down with my parents and be like, this is where I'm at right now in my life. But yeah, my dad just kind of...
It was really cool because a week after you had told him about you and I, he sent Lucy an email and said, I'm paying for both of you to come home for Christmas.
Yeah.
We really want to meet Jenny, which was like, oh my gosh, like how do you accept a gift
Wow.
like that? And we got on so well, him and I.
Yeah.
We were like two peas in a pod.
Yeah.
We were doing shots
I
of
think you'd
Fireball.
get along with anybody, though. I think you
Yeah.
have that personality.
My dad's really easygoing. I don't know why I had that fear. I think because of what my mom had said, like, you know, just you need to be ready before you kind of bring this news to the family kind of thing.
Make sure you're sure.
Yeah, and at that point I was so sure.
I think that's the reason why it took me so long as well. Like that's what you just, it's not that you're necessarily afraid to come out, it's just that you want to be sure. You
Yeah,
just,
because
you know.
it does cause, not upheaval, but it does change things. It does change things. But yeah, when I sat down and I'd just been on FaceTime with my parents, and I came off the phone and I was like, I'm ready, I have to tell my dad. So I messaged him and I was like, Dad, I need to talk to you, can I call you back? And he was on his own.
FaceTime?
Yeah, he was on, my mom wasn't there at the time.
There's a good hang up button. So
Yeah,
just kidding, click.
So I
Or you
was
do the
like,
freeze.
I was like, I really need to talk to you about something. And I couldn't get my words out. And then I think I said something like, Jenny and I are not just friends, like I'm not sure if you know this already. And he was like, no, I didn't know that, because I used to always have girls around, and you know, we'd go out and
The
blah, blah,
sleepovers like
blah.
Jenny.
Yeah, but no,
And we're a
obviously
little
not the
different than
same. But my dad just was like, oh, girls are girls, like that's just what they do. But then, so I unloaded all this stuff to him, and I kept saying like, it's okay if you're not ready yet and stuff. And he was like, do you feel better now? And suddenly this whole weight had just gone, and I was like, yeah, I do, like, because that was like the turning point for me. I was like, yeah, okay, this is it, this is me, this is who I'm with, and this is it. And now we're engaged and we're going to get married, and it's like,
When are you guys going to be married?
See, it's two women planning a wedding, so we'll see. Ask us again in a couple months.
a year away, April 2020. That's when we
So
want to
that
do it.
all sounds very positive, and you guys have had, you know, better experiences than a lot of people.
Yeah.
What is some adversity that you guys have faced over your journey?
I mean, I can't really say too much. Like, I didn't have a lot of negativity. I mean, in junior high, I was outed before I was ready to come out.
Yeah.
That was tough then, and that was just because it was teenage years. I didn't know. I was trying to find my own identity, right? But as far as like being an adult, I mean, there's the little things that sometimes get on my nerves. It just depends on the time of the week or whatever.
I think a lot of it is people's comments
Like,
on
this is my gay friend.
like, oh yeah, or you'll see like feeds on Facebook and people will be commenting on things and they'll say something to do, a gay comment, and they won't think anything of it, but they don't know how much that actually affects
Or if
you.
somebody says like, you know, they'll go, does this make me look gay? And I'll go, you mean awesome? Or that's so gay. And I'll go, oh, you mean awesome like me? Like I'll just throw it in there to just kind of take a dig at them.
Right.
Or like I have, my friends are very supportive. So when somebody comes up and they introduce me as their gay friend, because now it's cool to be gay, right? It's cool to have that gay friend or whatever. And someone's like, this is my gay friend, Jenny. My friend will come up and she'll go, hi, I'm her straight friend too. Like just to kind of take that dig, like,
Right.
it's not something huge, but it is, it can be. It
And do you
depends.
think it's intentional, or do you think people are just?
I think it's coming from a good place. I
Yeah.
do think it is coming from a good place. It's just sometimes it's like, it's not necessary. I didn't get up and gay brush my teeth this morning. Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't gay drive my car.
I did.
I would like to see that later, actually.
Violet, have you had any experiences with anybody making any comments to you about your daughter?
No, I haven't actually.
I
We
think
don't-
before I had officially come out to my mom, she had heard things around town because it's Penticton, right? So
Yeah.
she had heard from coworkers and stuff that I was at the bar. And I think that was our only time where we had a little bit of trouble, was just because you hadn't heard it from me yet,
Right,
and you'd
yeah.
been hearing it from other people. So
rumor
again,
mill.
kind of like, yeah. So like getting outed again before I was ready to, and that's one of my biggest pet peeves is when people out other people before they're ready to. Or even
Right.
when people introduce me again as their gay friend, and it's like, it's up to me whether or not I want to
Share
tell
that.
that. You know what I mean? Like,
Because we don't go around saying, "Oh, this is my straight friend."
well, yeah, it's
So-
like, I also work with people with special needs. My favorite color is green. I do photography. Like,
Doesn't
there's other
define
things.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know
right.
what I mean? And, but I mean, every day is a coming out story. Everybody that I talk to is, I come out every single day. This is coming out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some people are going to see this and go, I'm gay.
So for people in those more like rural communities who are maybe afraid to come out, I know there is a lot of positive movement going. We have a very strong community here in Kelowna. What advice would you have for them in terms of dealing with their journey and how they?
It gets better. It just gets better. And these things that seem like mountains are just going to be molehills. They're just, and they do give you stronger, like thicker skin. So when you come out on the other side, you're going to look back on it and go like, I made it through that. Now I can make it through anything. Bring it on.
And the kids to talk to their parents.
Yeah,
That was a big one.
We talked about that on the way here. Is that Mom just felt sad that I didn't come to her.
Because I could have
think that's
supported
what my
her.
mum felt though too. I think she did feel that, like,
Especially in school.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I would have known when Jenny was
She had
younger.
no idea what I was
I
going
didn't know, and I could have been there to help support her, because it's hard when those teenage years.
You're dealing with it
And-
alone.
And I just think, if she needed somebody to talk to, I was there, and I'm sorry that she didn't talk to me earlier.
Well, you are an amazing mother.
Definitely. Oh my gosh, the best. The best.
And any other mothers that are out there watching this that have a situation where they're have a child coming out, this is how you do it, people,
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
here. So thank you guys so much. Is there anything else that you guys want to mention?
Not
really.
no. It gets better. Your teenage years are not going to, you're not going to look back on it mad. Like you'll look on it as a positive thing. It's making you who you are, and you're going to be tougher and better for it.
And love is love, right?
Love is love.
Love is love.
That's right. Well, we say that a little too much now, don't we? If she calls me by accident, like pocket dials me, love is love, Jen. Love is our excuse for everything.
Well, I love your relationship. Thanks you guys so much for coming on. It's not easy to share under lights and in this kind of way, but
No, this is
thank
great.
you and congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to have you guys anytime. And if you guys need any, like a flower girl or something at your wedding, or like,
Yeah, you're
know,
hired.
Definitely.
Anything?
A DJ, an MC. You would be a great MC.
Yeah, we do need an MC.
awesome. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa.